Hello there, YTPC. Welcome back to Perkins Pipes, coming to you on this Memorial Day when we remember all of those men and women who have served our country in the military. Certainly got my American flag hat on here. Needless to say, if we're going to do remembering things, we need to bring out a vintage pipe. This is a Medico Foursquare. So I thought we'd bring this guy out. Now let's get to remembering, and let's get to talking. Such a wonderful day. We've got so many members of our family that have served in the armed forces. We've got my wife's sister's son, our nephew Tommy, who is in the Navy right now. We have the son of dear friends of ours, a young man named Cameron, who is currently in his Marine Corps training, officer training. My wife's dad was in the Army, was not sent overseas. My dad fought in the Korean War. Got family members fought in World War II. We have family members who fought for the North in the American Civil War. So this is indeed a good time to remember. And before I get too far into this, I want to give a big shout out to somebody. Kristen, this is your shout out. I've got a very good friend of my wife's and mine, a wonderful, wonderful woman named Kristen. In fact, I'm going to bring a picture of Kristen up here. This is Kristen with our daughter, Olivia, when our daughter was graduating from high school a couple years ago. And Kristen, her husband Jeremy, just wonderful, wonderful people. Love them both very, very much. You say, well, why are you drawing attention to Kristen? Well, Kristen has got to be my biggest fan on Perkins Pipes. Everywhere we go, she likes to talk about the videos of Perkins Pipes that she likes to watch. She and her family, she and her husband like to watch. They share the videos with their children and everybody we talk to. She promotes Perkins Pipes. So she really is my PR person, unofficial. And so, Kristen, this pipe's for you. So I want to start off by talking about how I know I'm not old. And that's a bit of a joke. Our daughter last year went off to university at Purdue University. She was our last to do so. And that left my wife and me, as we say, empty nesters. And so what empty nesters do? Well, we took up pickleball, and we started playing pickleball with some friends of ours. If you haven't heard about pickleball, it's sweeping the United States. Actually, it's been around since the late 70s, as I've done a little bit of research on it. But it does seem to be popular among a middle-aged and older crowd. Now, there's a lot of young people playing pickleball, but it's kind of got a reputation for being maybe a codger sort of thing to do. And so when we told our daughter that we'd started playing pickleball, she said, well, that's the clear evidence that you guys are old. So I was telling this to a friend of mine. He's a professor emeritus from Indiana University. I was on the phone talking with him. And I shared with him that story. And he said, well, no, let me ask you a question. He said, is going out to breakfast with your friends the highlight of your day? I said, no. He said, is going out to lunch with your friends the highlight of your day? I said, well, no. He says, then you're not old yet. He said, you're only old when those activities become the highlight of your day. So I got to thinking about that. Been thinking about that for a while now. And if that's the definition of being old, then I want to be old. And I want to think about this professor friend of mine's comment. What was implied in it? The implication, of course, is that people in the early and middle years of life, we are running around, we're working, we're going to jobs, we're going to meetings, we're serving on boards, we're taking our children from this place to the next. We're on the move. And I think that's why so many of us enjoy the smoking of a pipe. It slows us down. And I think about, there's a donut shop near where we live. And there's a group of older gentlemen who meet there every morning. They've got their own coffee cups at the donut shop. I've seen some of these guys walk in the back door of the donut shop, pick their own cup up, fill their own cup of coffee, and sit down at the table. And these guys are just enjoying each other's conversation. And I think that there is not only nothing wrong with that, but something positively to be looked forward to. In 1990, there was a wonderful film that came out. Many of you are going to recall it. Dances with Wolves. It was the blockbuster movie with Kevin Costner. And there's a scene late in the movie. He's talking with the chief of the Sioux tribe that he has really become a part of, a man named Ten Bears, played by a wonderful actor, Floyd Red Crow Westerman. And Costner's character is telling him that he thinks that the American army is going to be coming and that it's time for this Sioux tribe to pick up and move. And the older chief says, well, maybe, maybe not. He talks a little bit. And then he passes a pipe to Dances with Wolves, Umani Tatanka Owachi, which is Kevin Costner's Sioux name. He was Lieutenant John Dunbar in the American Army, but then he's, like I say, really become a part of the Sioux tribe. And Ten Bears passes him the pipe and says, now let us smoke a while. And you hear John Dunbar, or Dances with Wolves' voice, narrating the next scene. And he says, I tried to persuade Ten Bears, but I pushed it as far as I could, and then realized there was no point, basically, in furthering the conversation. And he said, I realized that for a man at his age, one of the best things is a good fire, and that he enjoyed simply talking about the simple pleasures of life. I think it's too bad that if that has to be something we delay until our golden years. I think sometimes we do run around too much. Those of us in our middle years, we run around from this thing to the next, filling our schedules, filling our agendas, busy, 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 as if somehow busyness is the mark of the life well lived. And yet I don't think too many people say, gee, I wish I had been busier. I think most people say, if anything, I wish I'd taken time for the smaller things, the finer things, to have relaxed, to have been with family, to have pondered the important things of life. Again, I think many of us in the pipe community, those of us who enjoy the hobby of piping, we know that, right? That's one of the things that draws us to the hobby, is that relaxation. Oh yeah, I won't make any bones about it. I'm in my mid-50s. And I enjoy this very much. And I enjoy times of just sitting with some friends and good conversation. And I am certainly looking forward to the times when, even though it may not be pickleball that says I'm old, that it really is the breakfast with friends or the lunch with friends that's the highlight of my day. And just sitting and talking about some of those finer things. So here's the question for you. What do you think about old age? What do you think about just sitting and enjoying lunch or breakfast with friends? Is that something you're looking forward to? Maybe you enjoy the busy life. Maybe you're a person who you love going, Mach 2 with your tail on fire all the time. That's fine. Talk to us about that. If you like this sort of thing, you like this sort of chat over a good pipe, we invite you to click subscribe. And I'll say this, if you come anywhere near my friend Kristen, she'll make sure you subscribe to this channel. So we certainly love you and appreciate you, Kristen. As Malcolm Guite likes to say, I do these little things in order at last to do nothing, or as I like to say in Latin, Parva ut tandem, nihil agam. Have a wonderful day.